Recognized as a researcher, author, lecturer, and the founder of greenmedinfo.com, the world's largest evidence-based natural health resource. And we're really excited to announce Sayer G. Please welcome Sayer to the stage.
So that's what we're talking about here, is like the basic questions of what is cancer have not even been asked, much less answered, because we assume that you either have it or you don't, like an infection, right? You have cancer, you get diagnosed, and you have to treat it violently as if it's some terrorist inside your body, blast it with actual nuclear-derived radiation and chemotherapy conceived in the war theater. And then what's the body? I mean, this is what we're going to look at in a second, is we don't even know what the body is. And without those fundamental questions, call them philosophical, I just call them obvious, answered, we can't practice medicine, we can't prevent or treat disease effectively. The way we think of microbiome, it sounds so small, right? I almost like using the word macrobiome for this reason. It includes the mycome, which people like Paul Stamets, if you have seen his work, the famous mycologist about how mushrooms will save the world, blows your mind, the importance of fungi for our health. I was one of those people that read Crook's book, The Yeast Connection, and freaked out whenever I thought of yeast was in anything. But the reality is even Saccharomyces cerevisiae, brewer's yeast, and Candida albicans will fight each other in a petri dish, so it's not that simple. So we do need fungi. The mycome, okay, virome, oh my God, it's the most amazing thing on the planet to realize that viruses are fundamental for our health, and that they actually are like a layer above the microbiome, including the bacteria that prey on them and help to sort of organize them. So, I mean, our genome, okay, the much touted and prized holy grail of molecular biology, the human genome that encodes the proteins for this body, about 8 to 11% is from retroviruses, the very same deadly HIV category viruses that you've heard of. So we are as much virus, probably more than anything else. And in fact, viruses are pieces of genetic information in search of chromosomes, and they allow for horizontal gene transfer, so that when you are able to pass genetic information down, it doesn't take hundreds of thousands of years. It could take like 1 minute. So there's something about viruses that open us up to understanding biology in a totally new light. So there's been a certain type of Copernican revolution with the discovery of the microbiome. It sort of really decentered us in a way and helps us to understand, of course, the key linkage between the environment's body and our body. They're not separate, they're interdependent. Obviously, we poison the body of the earth. You can imagine the consequences. It's not theoretical anymore. It links everything together in a way that I find elegant and has, moral implications. As there's a global, sort of like epidemic of overdiagnosis and overtreatment, it becomes like extremely motivating. You just want to go back and keep on dipping into that ocean of research, finding these little clinical pearls. Anyone out there, if you find any, just email them to info@greenmedinfo.com, because what we're really doing is we're starting to get this citizen science movement like up and running, and really encouraging people out there to treat us as sort of a wiki commons and to help to contribute to this data. Ultimately, our goal is to take this impressive but overwhelming sea of information and make it more accessible, to the end user, someone who may be facing a cancer diagnosis and doesn't know where to go. Good luck if you have like a scratch on your left forearm and you end up going to WebMD. You'll think you'll have, a malignant melanoma within a few minutes. So we want to provide an alternative to pharma-funded propaganda. The truth about cancer has put sort of like a megaphone on my work and the mission that we have at Green Med Info. So in so many ways, I'm deeply grateful, and I can see it around me when people from around the world are able to recognize the work that Truth About Cancer is doing. It's just really amazing. It's a sign that people are getting information without it being filtered by a middleman directly from any device they have. It's just a real way to democratize information.
It's some of the most powerful shakers and movers in the whole alternative field, and you can feel it in the energy. I mean, there's some monster ideas going around already, and you know how people sort of fire off each other, you know, things that you kind of thought about, somebody brings it to the fore.
Every time I come to these, I learn something new.
Never before have all these quality of speakers been assembled at one event.
You were born to heal yourself, and that you don't need external answers or interventions.
So the responsibility falls on each of us to listen to our bodies, to learn what we can, and to apply it in a way that makes sense for us.
Anyone can access now through any technology, so it's a really beautiful experience. It's been intimate, but yet there's a real synergy and a feeling like we're all kind of in this together on a global level now.